We got some bangers tomorrow. I'm super excited for the slate. And it starts off with Rutgers going to College Park to take on my mother's alma mater. There's maybe there was a reason she was lighting the house on fire, because the Maryland Terrapins. I'm going to start things off with a little lock. I think I don't like Rutgers on the road. I don't like them on the road. And then they just beat Michigan. You're telling me they're going to win both games on the road? Get the fuck out of here. Laying the 7.5 with the Terps. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm going to join you. I feel like all these Rutgers games on the road as a dog have been like bait lines. I think this is a bait to take Rutgers here. It's back-to-back road spot. They got a rare win on the road.
They're still 2-5 on the road on the year. 2-5 on the road.
This is Maryland, Nebraska from 10 days ago.
Yes.
Maryland pulls away.
And I would even be more scared of Nebraska's potential than Rutgers. Rutgers 350th at shooting the three. There's only like 300 and what? What's our count now, Noah, on how many teams in D1?
363. 362. 362.
Yeah, because Hartford, those cowards, and St. Francis, those fucking cowards. St. Francis, Brooklyn. But I mean, look, this is a smash spot. NC Nick, what are you doing here? And I know you have affiliations to the great University of Maryland, as you went to their basketball camp and Joe Smith dunked on you. What are you doing here?
Every time you come to me, man. I heard. I know you have an affiliation, and then it cut off.
Look, that's the best part about it, because I just talk shit about how Joe Smith dunked on you. So it's okay.
Fuck Joe Smith. Fuck Maryland. But not tomorrow night. I'm with you guys. The Terps are playing better ball. I'm not impressed by the Rutgers win at Michigan. I was definitely on Maryland. You guys talked me into a lock. I'll ride with you. Let's start the night off with at least a triple lock. What you got, Noah?
This is a quadruple lock. We're starting off with a bang. I mean, everybody already explained my handicap here. Cocktail Napkins got it -9.5. So we're getting 2 points at least. I think we get a double.
Terps. All right. The fire cider with my mother downstairs. It ends with our fucking bank accounts tomorrow. That's a fun game though. And then this game's ridiculous. Look, I'm a Rick Pitino guy. All right. Look, I'll buy his fucking breakfast at the next diner we hit. All right. I buy into Coach Pitino, and I think he's been hosed in a couple games recently, but 20.5 is too fucking much. Give me DePaul all day. 20.5 is absurd. I actually think we should potentially lock this game. Mac, what are you doing here?
But is this the fuck you spot? They've lost 5 out of 6. They do. It is a sandwich spot. I mean, they got their Connecticut, Marquette Saturdays in between. You got DePaul. I'll take the points, but I'm not fucking betting on DePaul. They're so broken. They're so broken.
NC Nick, what are you doing here? Is this at the Garden or is this at the local? No way. They don't do DePaul at the Garden. They're like,
this is the UBS Arena in Elmont.
Yeah, they called up and said, they're like, DePaul, is Terry Cummings? Is Terry Cummings still playing for fucking DePaul? All right. Mark Aguirre? No. Okay. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I mean, I know St. John's, after a rough stretch of games, they're glad to see DePaul on the schedule, but 20.5, that's too much. Give me the points.
Let's just have some fun and read off some of the last 3 scores for DePaul. They lost by 23 to Creighton, and then they lose by 33 to Seton Hall, and then 25 to Xavier. They've had some real fun the last couple of games.
St. John's, I know they're due, but I also feel like they're not circling this one.
No.
Right?
Especially coming off UConn and Marquette. I feel like they win by 20 exact. Because
18, something like that. Yeah. Give me that all day. Man, we got a banger in the SEC as Ole Miss. I mean, how about this? 8. If you had told me this. Now, look, I was on record. Go back, listen to our SEC preview. I said, South Carolina's going to shock. I didn't even say shock. I said, they're the team that no one's seeing coming. They could potentially make a run to the NCAA tournament. If not, they're still going to be better. But I didn't fucking think they'd be 19-3. All right.
Do you want that clipped if you keep referencing it? Would you like that clip now?
Yeah. Yeah, go look for that.
Clip it. Break out your clippers.
Yeah, there you go. Ole Miss is 18-4, which I thought it would take Beard a little longer to make it all work. Now, granted, he got the waivers for those players, but I mean, this is a shocking game. The South Carolina's in second place. They're battling for first place right now to win the SEC on February 5th. Somebody. I mean, this game's awesome. This is one that I was looking at schedules back in July or August or something, and I was like, Now you're sitting there saying this is like a must-watch game in a way. South Carolina's laying 3.5. I think this arena is going to be absolutely rocking because I think there's new life there, and I'm laying the 3.5. I do think South Carolina will lose a game soon, most likely at the Jungle on Valentine's Day. I got them beating Ole Miss here. I think Ole Miss on the road. I know Ole Miss just lost they blew a 10-point lead, 11-point lead to Auburn, but Cox are on fire, and I'm kind of buying into. I mean, I was buying in preseason. I didn't think they'd be this good. Give me South Carolina minus 3.5. Mac, what are you doing here?
Is this line a little short?
A little bit.
I mean,
maybe
they're 19-3 and they're only laying 3.5.
But Ole Miss is 18-4.
I know.
It's not like they're 12-12. You know.
And South Carolina basketball, who's other than the one run when you were there, Mac, has never really been good.
Correct. I'll take Ole Miss, but I'm not eating shit with South Carolina for a little bit here. Not because they are a front runner like fan base. Like when they get good, and they're good right now, 19-3, they will show up. But Ole Miss is another team that's kind of ate shit on a bunch. So I think they suck on the road, but I don't know. I think this game comes down the wire. I'll just take the points. I'm not betting. Looking forward to watching it.
NC Nick's throwing slander at South Carolina, the Gamecocks. JoJo English. Oh, and they did beat Duke in the tournament. But JoJo, what is up with them in the English? Is Alex English, the former Denver Nugget, I think, is a South Carolina Gamecock. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I'll be the first to admit that I've been slow to get behind South Carolina, just mostly because of their history. But I'm buying in now, and you're right. I think that fan base is wanting to cheer for something, and now they have something to cheer for, so they're going to show up. They're going to pack it out, and it's only 3.5. I feel pretty good about the Gamecocks at home. I'm going to take them, and I'm going to lock it up.
Ooh, Kentucky's next for Ole Miss for what it's worth. I mean, you're not going to look over a 17-3 team, but if this place isn't lit, it could be a nice little sleepy look at spot.
I'm going to join NC Nick.
There we go.
Kentucky on deck. It makes a lot of sense. Give me a double lock on the Gamecocks. The best part about tomorrow's slate too is you got these B-list games. I love B-list movies. Hard Ticket to Hawaii, all this other shit. This is one of those. Central Michigan is currently in second place in the MAC. Akron's in first place. Akron's laying 14.5. Akron's coming off of a rivalry game against Toledo where they won and covered for me. But Central Michigan's getting 14.5 points. Look, when you look at Akron's roster, we know if you follow college hoops, Enrique Freeman, he's been there a little bit. Ali's been there. Well, he left for Butler for 1 year, but he's been at Akron for a while. I feel like Tribble, been there for a little bit. They're used to CMU being a fucking doormat.
I know.
I don't think they're paying attention that CMU's actually decent. Give me the Chips. Chips also have been decent on the road. They're 5-6 on the road. I mean I know that you hear that stat and you say, what do you mean? They haven't been 5-6 on the road. I feel like since fucking JFK was president or something. Like, give me the points. I know Akron's 10-0 at home. I think it's a sleepy spot for the Zips. If anything, if you want to take the first half on the Chips, here's another thing. Akron has at JMU on deck.
Yep. I was waiting. I was getting ready to come in. I said, if you want me to add to your sleepy spot angle, shout out to the MAC and Sunbelt for scheduling the round 2 of this fucking.
Did you see how they did this shit too? They left it.
They did it standings, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but they waited, so you didn't know who they were playing until just a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Remember they used to do this like 15 years ago, Colby? All the mid-majors would leave like a week open towards the end of the year, and the best teams would play each other. It was awesome.
They should do that again. I mean, come on. What are we doing here, TV
It helps
execs?
out their argument for just
Yes.
the NCAA tournament.
Yes, they should do that every fucking year.
They should play on Friday. They should.
Yes.
Dude,
have you seen?
Saturday?
Have you seen this Friday slate?
It's weak.
Yeah, it's 3 games. 3 games total.
Fucking games. And Saturday, there's like 189.
Wait,
54.
why isn't the
I'm just saying.
NCAA playing?
They punted on this Friday. This Friday. Everyone should be fired. Every TV exec should be fired. Every school president should be fired.
Yeah.
Or
hey,
every
we all
director.
need a night to do like a date night or a Netflix and chill with the woman, and you know what? That lines up pretty nicely.
No, that date night lines
for
up
Dayton
perfectly for
VCU.
Detroit and IUPUI.
You put that
True.
on Friday night to make everybody watch it on ESPN.
Unbelievable. But anyway, just want to get to Coppin State loses by 12. They were getting 12.5. So Coppin State does cover. What'd you get it at, Mac? Because I didn't bet it. Did you bet this?
No, I didn't bet it. I forget what I forget what number I got because I didn't bet it. I just picked it.
Yeah. Well, it hit as for Cop. It depends. I think it actually, if you got it last night, it might have been 11.5. Currently North Carolina Central, Morgan State's in overtime, and Delaware State's only down 3 with 7 seconds left to Howard. McNeese currently
Howard
up 30. We got a lot to still sweat out. Wait, did we get everyone's pick on Central Michigan?
Everybody did not.
No, I don't think anybody picked.
Just
I'm
Colby.
still gonna lay it. I'm still gonna lay it. I think
All I know is I picked.
What?
Yeah.
You're gonna lay it?
Yeah. I think the line's telling you they're gonna fuck them up. This is for first place. But I'm not locking it because of the look ahead spot. I was about to, and then I saw JMU. I said, nah, I'm off the lock.
So you used the argument that this is for first place against Central Michigan when they've never sniffed anything outside of the cellar in the MAC.
They're also not that good. They're overachieving.
But they've got a chance to play for first place.
Hey, they've won 5 straight fucking games, buddy.
They've won Northern Illinois.
They've won 5 games. 5 straight.
Minutes.
But those last 2 games were both in double overtime. They're the second luckiest team in the nation, according to KenPom.
Okay, but they also have wins against Kent State and Toledo.
Kent State's not that good this year. They're like 4-6 in the conference.
I still think Kent State's like a brand, though. Like that's one of your they're not that good, but they're a good program. You know what I mean? So it's like I think you still tout that.
I'm locking it up. I mean, 14.5 fucking points is a lot of freaking points for a team that's rolling right now, won 5 in a row, playing for first place in the conference. This
Michigan.
This is a public dog.
Cocktail Napkin only has them as a 12-point dog.
Let's go. Noah Beanick. I'm not joining anybody. I think it's a good play. Dude, the chips have to prove it to me more. But I'm taking them plus 14.5 points. And I might end up betting it. Picks page. I'll say
Did you bet it, Nick?
I'm not going to bet this. I mean, I am going to take the points, but I am looking to fade Central Michigan. I was just surprised at how high this line is, and I didn't have the balls that Mac did to still go Akron. So I'm going to take the points, but I'm staying far away from this.
I got bigger balls than I did 2 minutes ago. Battle. Give me the zips. I'm locking this. Everybody's going to love the chips. They're going to see that cute little record. They're going to lose by 25. Let's go zips. This is their league.
It is their league, but I think it's a letdown spot. We got a battle, folks. Pick Dundee sitting this one out. NC Nick sitting it out, but money line back. Riding with the zips. Beanick says fire up chips. You always got to watch Beanick when he's taking a Michigan school.
Ohio.
You know what I mean? Unless it's state, then you say,
I've been
okay.
pretty honest with most of the handicaps. I've faded Michigan plenty.
I don't think we've heard your Michigan power rankings recently. So
yeah, where are we at, Noah?
So I think now it goes Michigan State, Oakland. If Central wins this game, they pass Michigan officially.
What if they cover?
Then,
what if they cover?
No. And then
Dude, Michigan just got worked by Rutgers in Ann Arbor.
And it's still Rutgers. They've got a top 10 defense in the country. Then we go Western, then Eastern, then the hospital.
Fair.
Hospital's getting better too.
By the way, hospital has a Tragic Magic spot coming up. Their color commentator, and by the way, he was a Detroit Piston 2-time world champion.
Who's that? What's his name?
I gotta pull his name up. For some reason, I'm blanking, but I'll get you the name.
Well, let's give the guy some fucking respect here.
It's a hospital.
Jesus,
People pass away in hospitals.
That is true. That is true. And people also sit for 40 hours while their wife's in labor reading fucking everything fucking possible. All right. You ever just start up a conversation with just random people just walking by? Hey, how you been? Where you from? That's how bored you get at the hospital. Where you from, man? I do security here. Right? You know, he was unprepared for my "where you from" question. But anyway, what's up, Noah?
Earl the Thrill Curitan. Earl
Curitan. He played for the fucking Hornets.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yes,
yeah.
He played for the Hornets, the Pistons. Rest in peace to Earl Curitan.
I think
Jazz.
he was one of the
Utah Jazz too.
One of the expansion draft picks for the Hornets.
Yes, man. Earl Curitan, man. Damn, that sucks, man. Rest in peace. Thoughts, prayers, love to his family. That sucks. Earl Curitan. That shows I'm getting fucking old. Western Michigan is catching 10.5 at Kent State. These fucking directional Michigan schools. Give me the points. Yeah, he did play for the Bullets too. I think briefly though. I think it was a brief bullet. Give me the Broncos plus 10.5. Don't like it. Don't bet it. I still think 10.5 is the right side though. Mac.
Kent's a fringe lock for me. I think the cream is going to start rising to the top with these MAC schools. I think Kent's way better than the record, and I think these Michigan schools suck. So I think it's going to settle in. Akron, Kent State, Ohio, Toledo. That's usually how it goes in the MAC. So I'm going to bank on that fringe lock on Kent. I may bet this in the morning.
And see Nick.
I'm gonna side with you, Colby. Like in Western Michigan, they have come back down to earth, but I think it is maybe a bucket too much. So give me the points.
Clemson is catching 8 at North Carolina. Oh boy. This is like two Mack trucks meeting on a fucking the I-5 freeway at 3 a.m, both going 80, because Clemson has been so shitty lately. And then you have Carolina, who's just been on fire, especially at home. I think they're undefeated at home.
Yep.
It's the perfect spot to catch North Carolina. So I have to take the 8 points. And I could be talked into a lock here because I just feel like they're due for you get up for that Duke game. The next game, you're just like, oh, okay, we got Clemson. Football school. Mac, you going to talk me into a lock with the Tigers?
I think I am. And I think Carolina, they're looking at it. We went to Clemson, got it done. It's a letdown on all different levels. They had the Duke game circled for a whole calendar year. Duke swept their ass last year. They were ready to go Saturday night. I feel like Carolina wins a tight one here because Clemson never wins in that building either. That's the other thing.
That's true. That
is
true.
What's the streak? It's like 50 years.
No, it's 1-59. Clemson won in 2000.
Was that Rick Barnes? Was that Rick Barnes?
I'm sorry, 2020.
Oh, okay. That's definitely not Rick Barnes. Yeah.
No. They were 0-59 in 2020.
No fans. When no fans were there, they won.
Exactly.
Look, see, I was telling someone this the other day. There's some people that are happy that COVID happened. I mean, obviously the pharmaceutical companies, but I mean, clearly Brad Brownell. And I'll be honest, I thought my life got a little bit better, but I mean, anyway, we'll talk about that another episode. All right, Clemson plus 8.
Yeah.
They're a veteran team too. That's another thing.
We'll keep it close. We'll lose by 5.
I'm with you guys.
Oh, there we go.
I'm not locking. I
know
the history there. Just take it.
Okay. Clark says Dale Davis ain't walking through that door. Dale Davis shooting a free throw was one of those. Shout out to Danny Dumbshit, by the way. But Dale Davis shooting a free throw. I know Shaq takes a lot of the shit for bad free throw shooting. Dale Davis is probably worse. It's right there. It's remarkable.
Those Pacer squads. Were you a Dale Davis guy or an Antonio Davis guy? I was
Antonio.
more
Antonio. He played with Tim Hardaway at UTEP. You like that? Like
both were good though.
Antonio was a little more. Well, they were both like henchmen. You know what I mean? Like they don't have that in the NBA much anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they were both like, you drive the bucket and try to dunk on Dale Davis or Antonio Davis. You're gonna get fucked up. You know what I mean? You're gonna pay for it. Gosh, how do we ruin that? I hate basketball was way better back then. There used to be a price to pay. Now it's like everyone can drive the lane. No one gives a shit. James Harden. Anyway, Clemson plus 8's the play. Yeah. Next up, Indiana Hoosiers are catching 6 in Columbus. This game's hilarious to me. This game is like, which coach do they want to fire more? I got some DMs from multiple fans of Ohio State that went to the Illinois game that said the fans are out. Even the students are out on Holtman. No one's going to the fucking games.
You didn't need to go to the stadium. You could have just listened to me. I've been saying that for 2 weeks.
Well, you're a Michigan fan. You tell it, dude. They could have fucking Jimmy Jackson. They could have Jimmy Jackson back, and they're going to fucking Final Fours. You'd be like, they're not that good. They're not a good team.
Same thing happened in Michigan right now. Last year too.
Greg Oden could be back there. You're like, that team didn't belong in the national championship. You can't listen to Beanick on Ohio State stuff. So. But still, actually, I'm seeing a 6.5 out there, by the way. 6.5. Get the fuck out of here. Give me the Hoosiers plus 6.5. Am I terrified of this game? A little bit. Both teams are 13-9. I truly believe Chris Holtman's a horrible fucking coach. I truly believe that because I thought last year's Ohio State team had talent. I thought the year before's team wasn't that bad. I don't understand what it is. I mean, is this maybe an NIL thing too? I don't know because that's the wealthiest athletic department in the nation. Them and Texas kind of trade that spot back and forth. Either way, 6.5 is too much for me. I know that Xavier Johnson's a game time decision, but that might be a good thing if he doesn't play. Give me the 6.5, and this isn't a crazy money line sprinkle because I feel like who knows in this fucking game. I don't think it's a lock. But I still think it's a decent play. Take the points here. Mac, what are you doing here?
Completely on the other side. I'm going back to the well. Ohio State, if you look though, they're good. They're good as a favorite, like a front running favorite here, a 5, 6, 7 point favorite. They got it done against, remember Penn State, that line raked and they were up 20-0. Minnesota, They got it done. It's when they're in these pick 'em or they're a dog. Coltman's just not going to fucking figure it out. I like Ohio State a lot here. This is the one they're going to blow out Indiana. Indiana sucks. I'm locking the Buckeyes.
Love the Lawrence Funderburg reference. You're locking it. Good.
Indiana stayed on the road, man.
You're a fucking maniac for this lock.
No, Buckeyes.
How can you have confidence in
This is the one.
NC Nick, what are you doing here?
No, I kind of side with you again, Colby. I thought these teams are basically copies of each other. They're the same thing. And I don't think playing, in Columbus makes 6 points or 6.5 points, especially because I don't know if it's the fans going to be that crazy to root on this team at 13-9 and 3-8 in Big Ten play. So I lean towards taking the points.
Northern Illinois. Moneyline Max Huskies are heading into Oxford, Ohio to take on Travis Lexington Steel and Miami, Ohio. Miami, Ohio is laying 5.5. I'm gonna lay in the 5.5. I hate Miami, Ohio in general. With Steel as coach, I've not been a fan. With them as a favorite, I'm terrified. If you bet this game, God bless you. I still lean Miami, Ohio because I think Northern Illinois is complete ass. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Northern Illinois. They got right on Saturday finally. They should have beat the Chips last week. They led for 39 fucking minutes and gave the game away in overtime and somehow didn't cover. So I'll take the Huskies. Maybe they found something that they had in November again.
This is not a hard game. They should be able to, based on what coming into the year, I was high on Northern Illinois.
Yeah,
they should win this game based off of talent.
I agree.
NC Nick, what are you doing here in Oxford?
I'm actually like fringe locking Miami of Ohio. I mean, if you look at it, the last time they had a home game, they beat Akron at home. And, Northern Illinois finally, after going 0-8 in MAC play, they finally get their first win. I think Miami, Ohio is a better team. And 5.5, I mean, it's a wacky MAC, which is that's my, my pause here, my hesitation. But I do like Miami of Ohio. I'm thinking about locking and betting it.
Check the picks, right?
There you go.
Yeah. We got a barn burner in Muncie. I actually think this game's great. I like Mac. I know Mac beat me on a lock battle like a week ago with Ohio. And I believe Mac's statement, even before I lost that lock battle. I do believe Ohio's better than their record. I also believe Ball State's better than their record, especially at home. Both teams are 12-10. Muncie, Indiana is going to be rocking. Ohio's 1-5 on the road. They just won their first road game, though. Oh man, this is tough. Ohio's a 1.5 road favorite. I'm taking Ball State. There's no chance I'm betting this fucking game. I'm taking Ball State, but I don't feel good about this play by any means because I can see Ohio winning this. I think Ohio has the better roster. If this was a neutral, I felt very good about Ohio, but Ball State, and this has kind of been the MO since we've been doing the show. I feel like Ball State at home is always a hard team to play. Doesn't even matter the coach.
Might not apply this season. Currently 1-4 straight up at home in conference play.
True. But 8-4 overall, and I still feel like they're a better team than I thought they would be this year. They lost everybody last year. I'm on Ball State. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna go back to with the Bobcats, but I'm not. I'm with you. I'm not betting this fucking game. I still think they're better than the record.
Yeah, I mean, I think we expected the Bobcats to go on a little bit of a roll since their schedule lightened up some, but I do think this is a little bit of a tricky road spot. Maybe a good place to go with a little yapper here. So I'll go Ball State, but I'm not touching it.
Michael Huffer in the chat. Michael's I think he's a Ball State grad, right? Isn't he, Noah?
Yeah.
You have a dossier on this guy? Can you pull it up? He pays for the student's beer. That's always, in my opinion. Come on. If you are a coach, you got to do this. You got to, like the Portland State football coach did this. This is a no-brainer if you want college kids. Like you want to be successful, you got to create a lit home environment, right? If you're a mid-major coach, you're coming in there, probably making what? 300, 400 grand a year.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna wreck you to pay. I mean, like this is not like an NFL game. The fucking beer prices are not ridiculous. At least from my experience, when I go to Loyola Marymount games, you don't pay fucking $20 for a beer. It's like house party. You're like oh $3-4. It's like a stranger's house party you walk into. They tell you, hey dude, I don't know you. Give me a couple bucks for that beer. That's essentially what it is. I don't understand why more coaches don't do this. I really don't. Like when you watch a Rice basketball game and no one's at the fucking game, invest in your own fucking career. Pick up the tab. They all come out. Those private school pussies, I assume, would come out. Florida State is heading to Chestnut Hill. Oh boy.
Did you guys pick the game, by the way? Did Mac and Nick pick?
Yeah, I took Ohio and Nick took Ball State. We didn't know.
This game's hilarious. Can we talk about Florida State's season for a second? I want to just understand Florida State's season.
Up and down, up and down, up and down.
So out the gate, they whoop Kennesaw State's ass, who's actually looked all right this year. They whooped the Chips' ass, which has turned out to be their best win, maybe. And then they get destroyed at Florida. Then they beat UNLV in Colorado, and you're thinking, damn, they're fucking good. And then they take on Georgia, and they blow a 20-point lead and lose at the buzzer to Georgia. And then they cover for us against North Carolina. They lose to South Florida. That loss don't look as bad now. They lose to SMU. And we're thinking, oh, man. Actually, I think it was the Lipscomb loss that I was like, he needs to retire. And then they rattle off like 7 of 8, with their only loss being against Clemson. and then they lose to Louisville and let Louisville score 101 points.
Ooh.
That was wild.
Is that the final nail in the coffin on the season and on the coach?
I mean, they still have opportunities. They still play like, what are they? What's their win? They have 12 wins right now. Their schedule's not that hard. Like you get a win here. They're home to Virginia on Saturday. Now that looks like a loss, but it's possible. Then they're at Virginia Tech, home to Duke, home to Boston College. I guess at Clemson is another loss. Home to the Pussy Pack. Then at Georgia Tech, at Pitt, home to Miami. I mean, like any of those games, they could. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't know if there's a for sure loss. I would say Duke or Virginia would probably be the for sure loss, right? Maybe at Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, at least Duke and Virginia is in Tallahassee.
Those would be the ones they win. Watch, because they play up to their competition. They play down to their.
How do you give up 101 points to Louisville?
I know.
I mean, Leonard Hamilton preaches defense.
I'm terrified of that. I actually think Boston College is going to put them out of their misery. Boston College -2.5. Give me the Eagles there. I know I can't lock up Boston College because I've said that since 1994, but I just can't bet on Boston College since Donya Abrams. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'm gonna take the Seminoles. Back-to-back road spot. I think this is a desperate spot. BC, they just beat Syracuse. They've been feeling themselves for 6 days. I'll take the Noles to get this thing outright.
So we get our kicks doing the Seminole rap.
We are the Seminoles of Florida State. We know we're good, some say we're great. Our goal is simple, best in the land. Rocking to the beat of the Modest Cheese Band. On Saturday night, we'll start our stuff.
NC Nick, you're our ACC specialist. What are you doing here?
Yeah, BC is solid at home. I just can't get behind a team that just gave up over 100 to Louisville on another road spot. So I'll take the Eagles.
By the way, we've had some games go final. Me and Noah Bina cashed our lock of McNeese State, putting it on Texas A&M Commerce. Couple of sharps over here, and we also locked up Maryland Eastern Shore. I think it was a me and Max special, or was that Cannabis Capper? Me and Cannabis Capper. Yeah. Shout out to Cannabis Capper. Great fucking guy, and obviously knows his shit as we cash on Eastern Shore. Turns out I'm having a good night after all. That's we're starting out 0-2. Back to tomorrow's slate. Wake Forest is at Georgia Tech. Wake Forest is laying 4. No. Give me the Yellow Jackets +4. Sprinkle the money line. I think they play much better in Atlanta than anywhere else, and I could be talking to a lock here.
Yeah, I mean this is.
I'll talk you into it also.
Yeah. This is a bubble team with the pressure spot and going to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's good at home. They beat Duke and Carolina. They get up.
I feel like they're getting better. There's a lot of youth on this team.
Wake sucks on the road.
Yeah.
Wake has lost their last 4 road games on the year. They're just 1-5 on the road. I think we've seen what Georgia Tech can do at home, and we're getting 4 points. That sounds like a smash spot for me. Lock it up.
Dog, baby, dog.
Triple lock?
Oh, yeah.
Beanick? No. Triple lock. Buzz, buzz, sting, sting. Let's go. VCU's laying 4.5 at Fordham. This line stunk to me. Give me Fordham +4.5. Mac, what are you doing here?
Same. Fordham's been shit at home, though. That's the only hesitation. But I'm definitely going to take the points. It reeks.
Nick?
It reeks, but I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to dive into it. I mean, VCU's won, 6 of 7. They're rounding into form under first-year coach Ryan Odom. I was a big fan of his dad, Dave Odom, when he was coaching at Wake Forest. So I'm going to ride VCU.
Can I offer a possible great spot? Canisius is getting 4.5 at Niagara. Why do I feel like this is a rivalry game? They're both right there, right?
Yeah, upstate New York.
I mean, Canisius has been shit lately, but I mean, they're 2-8 in their last 10. Meanwhile, Niagara's 8-2 in their last 10.
And those 2 games, those 2 wins, Colby?
Who were they?
Siena and Manhattan.
But Canisius is 1-9 on the road. Why the fuck is this line so short? Canisius storms the court on the road.
Do you know what the road win was? The Bonnies.
What? It's fucking insane.
It's upstate New York time, baby.
Those falls are overrated.
I'm blocking Canisius. I love taking these road.
The line makes no sense.
NAAC. They always come through. These lines that reek in the NAAC always come through. Let's go.
With you.
Canisius.
I'm with you. Do we have a triple lock scenario here?
No, I'm on Niagara.
Noah, do we have a potential?
I don't think I can. I jumped in because it was fringe, but I think you guys are talking me off of Niagara. I was going to lock up the Purple Eagle. They lost at home to Siena earlier this season. So if you can lose at home to Siena, you can lose at home then.
Double lock Canisius. Mac Dundee riding with the Golden Griffs.
Let me pull in Noah here for a second. Because look, last Monday we did the first ever tag team lock battle. I'm on Niagara here. It sounds like Noah was thinking Niagara. Noah, shall we?
I don't think so.
I
don't think we want to lose money on this shit.
He locked up 32 games on Saturday, and now he can't even give out one.
Bitch made punk.
You're trying to protect our 1-0 tag team lock battle record, huh?
That's it. That's it.
Noah Beanick.
You disloyal fool ass bitch made punk.
Oh man, Nick set you up. I mean, he set you up perfectly. Good God.
The chat wants a tag team lock battle, but I guess maybe you know what? Keep on listening. Maybe another opportunity will present itself.
Hey Beanick, when you're at the bar and a gal puts her number on the cocktail napkin, that's not her handicapping Niagara and Canisius. That's her trying to fuck you. All right.
If she wants to handicap Niagara and Canisius, she's the winner.
she's the one.
Yeah, but you got to realize that. You got to. Good God. Look, folks. Look, we try to keep it as an entertaining show. I apologize for our producer because I think the whole chat is saying right now.
The fuck is that? Shit.
I got a lock here though in DC, and it's a filthy lock.
Ooh, you're locking
Rhode
this?
Island. Rhode Island is catching 5 in DC. I think Rhode Island has been a strange fucking team. I think George Washington, the Colonials have lost 4 in a row. And I think they're going to win by 20 against fucking Rhode Island. So I will lock up the fucking Colonials of George Washington. The Colonials of George Washington. I know you've hated them all year, Mac. What are you doing with them?
No, I actually had this one circled as well. Rhode Island's playing like dog shit. They've really hit a wall. G-Dub at home, they're going to right the ship here. I agree. We'll lock this one up. I'm with you.
Let's go. NC Nick, I know you've been to GW's campus. Bob Dylan was handing out fucking brownies, playing songs.
No, that was the American campus.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck GW. I'm going to take him here, but I'm not going to bet on him.
All right. The Buffalo Bulls, the Blue Bulls, are catching nothing like catching a case of Blue Bulls as they're getting 12.5 in Bowling Green. Nope, give me Bowling Green. Cannot take this Buffalo team. Mac, are you still on your Blue Bulls?
Yeah, but I'm not betting them.
Have you told your fiance about your case of Blue Bulls?
Why do you love Buffalo so much? Did you lose your virginity in Buffalo?
No, I did not. But the Bulls have been good to me in the past. They came up with that one upset. I can't quit them. So the Bulls, I stopped betting them. Them in the hospital.
Don't worry, we all have a couple of those teams. NC Nick, what are you doing here in this game?
I'm on Bowling Green. I mean, they're such the better team. Yes, they've lost 3 or 4, but 2 of those losses were in overtime. And Buffalo is just a total train wreck. So give me Bowling Green.
The Toledo Rockets are heading to Ypsilanti. Noah Beanick's got a few stories about the LeBaron parking itself in Ypsilanti. Ask old Rebecca. There's too many points. Toledo's good, but you don't walk into the George Gervin Center and just expect to dominate. I understand that Eastern Michigan's 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah.
It's just too many points. 7-point game a year ago. Give me EMU. That Toledo wins by 9, something like that. Mac,
another Ohio school over Michigan. These Michigan schools lay it.
Yeah, I'm definitely on Toledo too. What line are we picking this at? Because I'm seeing a wide range right now.
I see 12.5.
And just a couple hours ago it was at 10.5, and I was fringe locking Toledo.
Yeah,
I think at 12.5 I'm gonna lay off, but I'll still go with the Rockets.
Noah?
For what it's worth, Michigan's owned Ohio for the last couple of years in all sports. Toledo has Appalachian State in Boone.
Daddy Harbaugh's not there anymore to keep winning for you.
Sean Moore is all right.
Will he sleep at the kicker's house too?
I mean, he's already 1-0 against Ryan, so he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. They need to bring back Urban.
Honestly, I think that's one of the more disturbing sports stories, and I'm a Jim Harbaugh guy. Sleeping on the top bunk bed of a 17-year-old's house. Weird.
I've got Sandusky vibes.
Yeah, fucking weird. I don't know, and it's a kicker too. Come on.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna make that play and have that out there for the universe to know, at least have it be someone super fucking important. Now that guy ended up being a stud, but
was it Moody?
I don't know. He kind of underwhelmed expectations. It was Quinn Nordine. He was really good his first 2 years. Then he cut his hair into like the Rocky or not the Rocky, the Ricky Vaughn Wild Thing haircut, and then he sucked his junior year.
If you're a kicker trying to pull off Rick Vaughn, it ain't gonna work. I can tell you that right now. All right, it's not gonna work. Remember, you know who tried to do that was Todd Sauerbrunn back in the day. He tried to act all tough, and then Brian Mitchell stuck his ass. It was fucking great.
He was a punter technically, but
yeah, it's still a kicker. They kick. You know what I mean? Oklahoma State's catching 20.5 at Houston, and I gotta be honest, I took Houston.
Lock. They're gonna kill them. 25-30. They do this to everybody there. They're off a loss.
Yeah, after their loss last, they beat Texas Tech by 23. Obviously, right. Yeah, I'll ride too. Why not?
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's go there.
State's gonna score 38 like Miami tonight.
Triple lock. Cougs laying the 20.5. Let's go. UT Martin is catching 2.5 at Little Rock. I'm sorry. What did I say? Little Cock is laying 2.5 against UT Martin. Give me UT Martin to get this done. Not betting this game because Little Cock always fucks with me. What are you doing here, Mac?
Fantastic matchup. They just played, and UT Martin was favored by 2.5 at their place. Now Little Cock favored by 2.5. Martin won the first one. Give me Little Cock in the revenge. But this is a random OVC game on a Tuesday night, by the way.
Yeah, it is a little weird. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Like, my thought process for the last 5 years or so is that I've fade every Arkansas school not named the Razorbacks. That hasn't been as profitable this year. Yeah. Little Rock is better. Central Arkansas is a little bit better. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the home team and go with the Little Cock.
Arkansas has been a full fade too.
Arkansas has never entered into that equation for me though. They were separate. I faded the shitty Arkansas teams.
By the way, we did cash Howard. Wherever you got it at, -1 +1. They win by 4 to Delaware State. Also, Morgan State. Actually, I didn't lock that. It was just I picked Morgan State. They went out right against Central by 7 in overtime. Whew.
Just taking credit for games he didn't even bet over there.
Yeah, sorry. I was playing music. You did not bet that game, but the music sounds nice. It sounds nice, especially after I've been in a hospital for a week. All right, back to the action. BYU is heading into Norman, Oklahoma. BYU is laying 1.5 on the road. No. Oklahoma's lost 3 of 4. I am locking up the Sooners and Porter Moser to get it done. Just ride that money line. It's not much. What are you doing here, Mac?
Yeah, BYU made 13 threes Saturday night, back-to-back road spot. They stayed the night in Morgantown on Saturday. Now they go to Norman. Oklahoma's lost 2 home games in a row, too. So 3 out of 4, including 2 home games. They got to get this one in and stop the bleeding. Porter Moser, Oklahoma, lock it up, Boomer Sooner.
NC Nick?
It is a triple lock. This is a rough stretch of travel here for BYU. Just in Morgantown 72 hours ago. And plus, they were 0-4 ATS on the road before they covered against West Virginia. So, not a good road team against Oklahoma, who's more desperate. Smash spot, Sooners, triple lock. Let's do it.
Triple lock. Let's go. Jason Miller. All right, folks, before we get to the next game, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Cut. All right. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 different states. P2P social betting is a new and better way to bet. Bet directly against your friends and other users on sports, politics, pop culture, and other events with verifiable outcomes. Plus, there's a ton of fun social features that give it a feel of a betting social network, so to speak. And get this, Cut handles, they handle the payment side of things. All right. They offer lower VIGs and fully customizable odds. You can even create your own bets, and they handle the payment side of things. So you don't have to chase down old Billy sitting there waiting for him to go to the fucking, waiting for him to gas his car up. You've been sitting outside that Sunoco for fucking days. No, you don't got to do that. All right. Cut is really just phenomenal. All right. They got group chats, betting leaderboards, head-to-head history, user profiles, fan groups, and much, much more. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. And speaking of SGPN, wow, we're honored to be a part of SGPN, and Super Bowl 58 is here, folks. And they have a props contest that you have to check out. We're going to give away $1,000. Winner take all. Free to enter. We're not trying to fucking get anything out of you. Just enter. You win $1,000. Never listen to us ever again. You can say, "Hey, fuck you, Dundee." All right. Pick 58 props for Super Bowl 58. Enter today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/SB58, or the link in the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. So check that out. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Look, buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll be having at that very event. So what are you doing, folks? Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that redeeming code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, terms apply. Redeeming code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, we're back on the college basketball experience.
Colby, real quick before you get into the games, Jacob Thiessen, he has a good question here. Have anyone seen Colby and Julio in the same place at the same time?
No, I don't think so. We both bet. What was that shitty bet we had? We had Miami.
Cole, you're learning about this new character, Mr. Julio. When he has a shit night, he ain't gonna be in that chat.
He's not here.
Well,
Road runner.
I like to think he ruined my bet, and if you had followed Dundee, you jump off of that. But I like the suspense around "Am I Julio?"
Don Julio. I like Don Julio.
I love Don Julio, dude. The best part about traveling abroad is you come in and you got that fucking that area. What's it called again? Where all the booze is all cheap. I'm drawing a blank on it right now.
Duty free.
Yes, and you can load up on like some of the best. You can get like a bottle of Don Julio. What the fuck is that shit called? It's like a $300 bottle or $200 bottle. It's like 1920 Don Julio 1900, some shit like that. For like $40, and that would be a bunch of money elsewhere. I do it all the time. You got to do it. So maybe I am Julio. All right. Not potentially there. Iowa State is getting 2.5 in Austin. This was 1.5 when I caught it on the SGP show a couple hours ago. 1942. You're right. That's what I was looking for. I am locking up Texas. Yep. Gonna do it. I mean, like, it's disgusting. Horns up. Horns up. Texas wins at home. Matthew McConaughey's there. All that good shit. It's the revenge game for Tyrese Hunter, so they get it. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I feel like I have the most feel for Kansas and Texas. This is another great spot for Texas. Another chance to get a quad one win over Iowa State. And get on the right side of the bubble. Otzelberger has struggled in Austin in his 2 years. Texas and Iowa State's not a good road team. And they just won back-to-back home games last week. They're going to drop back-to-back road games. That's what they do in Iowa State. Texas, a better team, better athletes. Lock it up. They're going to put it on Iowa State, unfortunately.
Nick?
Completely agree with you guys. I think this show might set a record for the most triple locks, but let's do it again.
You just triple lock.
Hook 'em. The Dayton Flyers.
By us.
It is.
In Oklahoma, triple locks back to back.
The Flyers, the Dayton Flyers are flying on into Pennsylvania. Philadelphia take on St. Joe's. Dayton's laying 2.5. I will lay the 2.5, and I could be talked into a lock here because I don't buy into this St. Joe's nonsense. Mac, what are you doing here?
Does this line reek?
A little bit.
Dayton's not the same team away from home. I'm gonna lay it with Dayton, but I'm not betting it just because this line fucking stinks. But I don't believe in St. Joe's either. I'm with you, Colby.
Nick?
I'm going to go St. Joe's, actually. Again, I don't feel confident enough to put my money behind that pick. I just feel Dayton is probably due for a clunker. They've been on a roll lately. I'm going to go with the small home dog here, but I don't love it.
New Mexico is laying 10 in Laramie. No. I even think there's a 10.5 out there, but I only see 10 on this right now. But there was a 10.5 right before the show started. I'm locking up Wyoming plus 10. I think Jeff Linder's bunch, they're better than their record, especially when they're in Laramie. Give me the 10 and the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, this is a bitch of a place to play at. It's a hard place to go into. They just rallied against Colorado State. And looking at New Mexico, they are off the loss, but they also have UNLV on deck. And I know UNLV is not that good, but Vegas and New Mexico, that's always a game that both teams circle. I like Wyoming as a home dog here to keep this thing close. And yeah, I'm with you. Lock it up.
Boom. Look, NC Nick, he's been to Laramie. He was telling me he thinks it's an up and coming city. Loves the nightlife.
Laramie
loves the diversity in Laramie. And Laradice, although we had some great fans there. Those are good folks, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. But Wyoming, to y'all's point, Wyoming is 8-1 straight up in Laradice this season. The one game they lost was actually to Weber State back in December. So they've been on a roll at home. I'm going Wyoming here, and I mean, I wasn't going to bet this, but hell, why not continue the theme and do another triple lock? Let's go.
Lock, baby.
Look at this. The fucking Three Amigos over here, all right?
The lock sheet.
Hey, Noah, can we get Cam on a Three Amigos graphic with all of our triple locks? Thank you.
Yeah.
Now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
The Wyoming Cowboys. Plus 10 in Laramie. Kentucky is laid 8.5 at that fucking weird ass arena where you sit below the stadium. You get front row tickets to a Vanderbilt game. It's like a prison sentence. It's like you wanted to get back. You want to get the fucking nosebleeds at that game. You get front row. You're like, what the fuck's going on here?
If a player goes for a loose ball, his balls are coming right in your face.
That's what I'm saying. You're getting teabagged on a fucking loose ball, right? It's you don't want that shit. You get front row at a fucking Vanderbilt game. I don't even understand it. How do you have all that SEC blood money and you're sitting over there with your fucking silly ass court Kentucky's due. I'll lay and now this went to 8.5. This was at 8 or 7.5. I'll still lay it, but no lock because I don't trust Kentucky on the road. But I do think they're just gonna get this one. Mac,
I'm locking Vandy. I don't trust Kentucky at all on the road, especially laying 8.5. I think Vandy's better than their record, and I think they've started to play better. I think Kentucky may get out of there alive, but 8.5 as a home team, home dog, I'll take Vandy. This is still getting way too much Kentucky tax for me. Lock up Vandy.
Woo! Look, I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get that bottle of JW Dant. I can't do that. But wow, Mac locking up the doors. He always was an Anderson Cooper guy.
No, I'm not.
And NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I mean, after losing 3 or 4, do we have to start having the conversation about Calipari's recent struggles at Kentucky? They're still top 20, 15-6, but they're not the same Kentucky as they were 7-8 years ago for sure.
It's funny when there's a level playing field.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's like Alabama in football. I don't know. I'm going to ride with Kentucky here because they have lost 3 out of 4. I think they need this. I'm going to ride Kentucky, but I'm not going to bet it.
Calipari needs to call up Nick Saban and says, "Hey, meet me out on that fucking lake house you got in Georgia, wherever the fuck that is." Right? Let me tell you a few things about the world. All right. We were buying every player when it was illegal to buy players. Now everyone can buy players. We can't win natties. We can still be good at what we do, but we can't win natties.
Hey, where's my guy Stevenson at? Kentucky's a front runner program. Now all of a sudden it's a little even. And Kentucky's struggling. I am very much a big Blue Nation hater.
The only thing saving Calipari is they look at Kenny Payne, like all those fans. Calipari's great. He's fucking great.
Could be worse.
Yeah, like we didn't lose the UMBC the other night. Beanick, I see you're here. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I popped in because there's an angle that nobody's mentioned yet against Kentucky here too. Gonzaga's next. I announced like the last weekend or whatever that would be bending Kentucky against Gonzaga. I think that's the spot where they can really get their, true bounce back and get a good win because Gonzaga also struggles on the road. Also, Vanderbilt last year went 6-1 straight up in February in SEC conference play. They turned this thing around. Yeah. They've got 1 victory in February this year against Missouri. Granted, it's Missouri, but this Kentucky team struggles on the road. I'm going to lock up the doors with Mac.
Ooh, yeah, there we
Vandy
go.
boys.
Vandy beat him twice last year, too, remember?
They did.
Double lock on the doors plus 8.5. All right, I'll join you.
Yeah, they went
big.
They went 2-1 last year. They lost at home to Kentucky, but they beat them in the SEC tournament and they beat them in Rupp.
Yep.
I'll join you on one of these big spreads against Blue Bloods. Butler's catching 14.5 points at UConn.
Oh God.
I'm going in now. Posh Alexander's a game time decision. You're not going to want to bet this until you know he's playing. Because if he's not playing, they will lose by more than 14.5.
They won without him last game.
Not against UConn. That is why I'll take a little flyer on the Butler Bulldogs. Dad Mata should have beat UConn in Hinkle. We were on Butler. I remember that, Mac. They let him off the fucking hook. What are you doing here, Mac?
I could see this playing out like Providence and UConn did last week. I mean, UConn's off the big win. They had that St. John's game circled. I know it's still St. John's, but like UConn wanted to make a statement at the Garden. I'm with you. I'll take a stab on the Butler Bulldogs. Let's go lock it.
Look, Dad Mata has coached in the same amount of national championships as bitch-ass Danny Hurley. All right, sitting there fucking doing all this crazy shit. Dude, NC Nick, I know you're a Bobby Hurley guy, but can we talk about Danny Hurley being the most annoying human being on planet Earth?
He's a little annoying, but he's only annoying because they're winning. Okay? Because you guys weren't saying this last year. Last year, we were just saying that he's probably not a very good head coach.
Yeah, but he also didn't do the whole mental health thing after the fucking, I won a national championship, but I want to let people know that it hit me in the offseason. Hey. Mental health's a fucking thing. Oh, shut the fuck up, dude.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
You remember at Hinkle after he won they won that game, the miracle cover, and he was going like this, pointing to his fucking finger about the ring. Yeah, you're right. Let's go fucking Butler.
Yeah.
Stick to fucking early dad.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I am convinced. Like that guy.
I hate him.
he's. I haven't. This is like if Grayson Allen became a head coach. It's really like that.
Well,
it's like
he did say earlier this year that he has the formula. Like he broke the code. Now he knows like the formula to build a team in modern day college basketball. So that the arrogance, I mean, right there to say that, you know.
Yeah.
I hear you. I'm on Butler too, but I'm not gonna. Here's where I lay off of a triple lock because you know what? I mean, they look really good at Creighton, got that big road win, but they shot damn near 60% from three. I don't know if they can repeat that. But overall, with UConn, this is like their weak part of the schedule. Even after this game, there's Georgetown and DePaul. So I just think they can kind of sleepwalk through this and win by 10.
Providence came from last week.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
and this is where my locks start flying off the fucking shelves, by the way, folks, because Boise State won at the Pit in the past 8 days. I think it's impossible for them to win at the Pit and Fort Collins in the same season, let alone 8 days apart or 6 days, whatever the fuck it was. Colorado State's laying 5.5. I've already bet Colorado State. Look, I went to Sonny Lubbock's bar in Fort Collins. Fantastic fucking establishment. Shout out to Chad G. And their old fashions are fantastic. And the experience, the atmosphere, and the attitude is why you should go to Sonny Lubbock's in Fort Collins. But they're 11-1 at home. Boise's 4-1 on the road. There's no way that is sustainable. I think this Boise team is really good. I don't believe they can win at the Pit and Fort Collins in a 1 week span. I also think Colorado State needs it more right now. Give me the Rams. Lock it up. Mac?
Yeah, this is the same handicap as last week with Colorado State. They got to get this game. Get back in the Mountain West hunt. They're 2 back of Boise. Great spot to get right here, like San Diego State. I like it. Let's ram it.
NC Nick, is this the trend of the show?
Well, look, I'm definitely on Colorado State. It looks like their midseason slump is over, and that the win over the Aztecs got them over that hump because they followed that up with the blowout over Fresno, which I think they were laying like 5 or 6. I locked up Colorado State there, so I think they're back up on the upward trajectory. I was definitely going to go the Rams, so you know what? Let's continue the trend. I'll bet it as well. Let's go, guys.
Triple lock. That's the music. That's what we do for Colorado State. I kind of love these games right here because South Florida and our boy.
Hell yeah.
I know NC Nick has been tweeting all about this guy, Kashawn Pryor. But also, I mean, they got dogs. Chris Youngblood is a guy that's just nasty on that team. This is a huge game. And look, one thing I know about the Clits, they got fortunate with their little douchebag fans camping out on night thinking they're fucking special in your fucking little Queen City bullshit. All right. You got up for ECU because you know ECU is a premier institution. You won your little game. It's okay. We'll get you again. But all your focus was beating ECU. And you got lucky. Got that dub, that bullshit dub there with your little Queen City arena. All right. I am locking up South Florida minus. Well, I see 1.5. I see 2. Take 1.5. Fuck with the ball. You get Kashawn. What is it? Kashawn Pryor. Let's go. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm going to join you. I like South Florida. Charlotte's not the same team away from home too. I think South Florida they're finding their groove even more with Raheem as head coach. Brought over his guys. I like the South Florida team. They're fucking playing their ass off.
Dude, this is a great game because Charlotte's won 8 straight.
Both these teams are on fire.
Yeah,
yes. South Florida's 9-1 in their last 10.
Yeah. One has a 7-win streak. The other one is an 8. And shout out to them for putting this on a Tuesday so we can get some more eyes on it, not burying it on a fucking Thursday or Saturday.
I heard a rumor the Tampa Zone, Ric Flair is going to be in attendance. Now you tell me that you're going to fade this guy right here?
The best looking man, the best dressed man, long limousines, jet airplanes, custom made clothes, and any woman in the world I want, just like that.
NC Nick, triple lock or what?
Yeah, dude. You know how much money I've made with USF this year? I owe it to them to keep betting them, and I'm going to keep on doing it until they fail me. So yes, triple lock again.
Let's go. Let's go. Tough. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Noah Beanick showing SGP's comparison. I thought he kind of looked more like Birdman Anderson personally, but I like what they did there. Having fun with it.
Yeah, it's Machine Gun Cully for all the audio listeners.
Oh, I thought that was Nickelback. Keep these locks going. This is one that I guarantee hits.
Utah State.
Yes. Look, we know Steve Alford. All right. They're counterfeit, especially in environments that are just bonkers. Utah State just lost to San Diego State. Danny Sprinkle he knows what he's fucking doing. Clearly. Get this bullshit. Steve Alford, cockanimi offense, no defense, no physicality out of here. When you go to Logan, you go to lose. And if you need me to key in on that, they're 10-0 at home. And this is a rebuilding year. Fuck you. Novada and Steve Alford. This is easy money. Get yourself over there. Get yourself over there. Mac?
Yeah, I had the circle, man. These Mountain West teams are just so fucking good at home. It's hard to go against any of them when they get a big game at home, yet alone off a loss. Give me Utah State all day. Love it.
I'm kind of shocked it's only at 6 or so. Like
I'm seeing 5.5.
Yeah,
5.5
out there.
Is there something we don't know? Is there an injury or something? Because I'd probably bet this at Utah State -10.
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good at like
They
at
love
least 7.5,
Alford
8.
season still.
Yeah,
I'm all over Utah State. This might be my favorite play of the night.
yeah, I agree. Locked it up on the SGP show. I'm locking it up again here because I did bet the shit out of this. Do we have a quadruple lock? As Noah?
This is a quad lock.
Just like that. Danny Sprinkle. Sprinkle it. Clark knows what's up. Utah State's home environment. It is truly fucking insane. Michigan State is laying 3 at Minnesota. If you're going to take Minnesota, there's a 3.5 out there, but I am laying 3. And I can be talked into a lock here.
It's getting into February. It's starting to be Izzo time. The Barnes been a good story this year, but this is an Izzo spot. Minnesota's coming off a big overtime win as well. I think Sparty's a fresher team, better coach team, obviously. I'm with you. Izzo gets it done. They win by 6 or 7.
Lock it up. That's all I need was a little tiny push. NC Nick?
No, I'm not with you guys here. Minnesota actually has the best ATS record in the country, 18-3.
That's why you fade them.
They're 14-1 ATS at home. I'm gonna ride the Gophers here, but I'm not gonna. I'm not touching this one.
Texas Tech is heading to Waco, Texas. Baylor's laying 6.5 points. Eek, this is a rivalry game. It's a little too much for me. Baylor wins by 5. Give me Texas Tech plus 6.5. Mac?
Texas Tech fringe lock. This is Grant McCaslin versus his former mentor, and we saw what Jerome Tang has done. He's 3-0 against Drew. I think Texas Tech's going to hang in this thing all the way till the end. They may lead for a lot of it. They're also off back-to-back losses, more desperate team, and Baylor's been playing in these chaotic games every other game, it feels like. So I'll take Texas Tech fringe lock.
NC Nick?
Completely agree. I mean, every Baylor game is close, it seems. Like it's either overtime or a buzzer beater or a 2 or 3 point win. So you're giving me, almost 3 possessions here. Especially if the line keeps on going up another half point or so, then I might jump with you. But I'm definitely on Texas Tech here.
San Diego State's laying 10.5 at Air Force. Why is this so short?
Air Force is the side here, I think.
Something's got to give. San Diego State 1-7 ATS on the road, bottom 5 in the country. Air Force 2-9 ATS at home. You know, San Diego State's lost their last 3 conference road games. They only won by 10 last year in Colorado Springs. That was a better San Diego State squad. I'm still gonna go Aztecs. I ain't touching
I'm going Aztecs too. I might bet this. If I'm having a good night, I'm firing away on this fucking thing. Mac,
I'm on Air Force. I can't trust San Diego State away from home. And they're off the big Utah State win. That one was circled. That was a statement game on Saturday. And who do they have on deck?
New Mexico, is it? Is it New Mexico on deck? Or who is it?
Nevada.
Okay.
Back-to-back roads. I know Nevada is not at the level of Boise, Colorado State, and all those other teams, but Nevada is still a tough place to play.
Yeah. All right, folks, we got 2 more games left. But before we get to it, I want to tell you the college basketball experience is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL postseason with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. So stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN. You get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets.
Can I set the team total for Pacific in this game? Higher or lower than 28.5 points?
I'll take higher. It's in Stockton. You don't just walk into.
I asked basically the same question the last time these two teams played, and they hit the same amount of points as Stanislaus State.
You don't just walk into that cheap ass Alex Spano Center, all right, with his Jim Harbaugh blood money. All right. 21.5 points. Give me the points. No, I'm laying it, actually. I'm laying it. Fuck
Gonzaga.
They're so bad.
Ever since that loss, though, that 76-28 loss, they've been playing better. And they only lost to Gonzaga by 9.
Yeah.
They play a little bit, but they lost to San Francisco by 6.
I'll take the points. All right, I'll take the points.
Losses. This is actually this could be one that I bet last second.
You want to have fun and just like throw a few bucks on Pacific here? I might do that. Just because
Mary's is aside.
Who loses 76-28?
Yeah.
And
Miami.
Then, I mean, and then who's going to actually bet them 2 weeks later? Or not even 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, what? Yeah, about 2 weeks later. I might have some fun and bet a little bit on Pacific. Why not?
All right. Let's check out the picks page. Get the SGPN app, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Also, if you don't want to get the app, but I don't know why you wouldn't, it's free. I got a lock of the final one here.
Ooh, you're touching this.
San Jose State's laying 2 against Fresno. I think San Jose State's a better team than Fresno. I will lay the 2 with Tim Miles and San Jose State. They've lost 5 straight. There's no way. They're better than their fucking record. San Jose State wins in a rivalry game. Mac?
It does crack me up because this is Martin versus Littlecock. It was 2.5 at the other person's place. Fresno was laying 2.5. It is a revenge. I do agree with you that San Jose is way better. I've been taking them. This is the one for Tim Miles. It got to be. You got to win this one, man. I'm with you. Lock it up. Come on. Now or never.
Boom. Lay the 2 with Sparty. NC Nick, what are you doing here at the what do they call this? The Credit Union Center, some shit like that. Anyway, what are you doing?
I'm not liking it, but I'm gonna give San Jose State one more chance. I mean, they just lost to Nevada by 30. Not a good look, but I do think that they got some guys on that team and they're at home. And if they're ever going to respond, now's the time. So give them the Spartans.
It's tough. It's tough when you lose a game by 30. You know, obviously,
at least it wasn't 76-28.
True. Very true. But you know,
you can't win.
This is the one though. This is the one because after losing by 30, you know.
Yeah. He felt like shit afterwards. Everybody booing the shit out of me, but he worked his ass off. And no smarter coordinator in football.
Folks, that's our show. All right. Top play of the night.
Good question.
Top play of the night here. To me, I think it's Utah State. I think it's Utah State minus 5.5. To me, it's like it's borderline Utah State with. I don't know, man. I kind of like those Mountain West games, but yeah, give me Utah State as my top play. Mac, where are you going here?
I feel like such a bitch. I'm debating between Texas and Oklahoma over here.
I love the Texas one more personally. If I had to, I think the Texas one would probably be my second favorite play. So Oklahoma, if I can make that decision, you going Oklahoma? Okay.
Oklahoma just flipped through 0. I think it may be Oklahoma.
NC Nick.
Oklahoma.
I like all those, but hey, man, if you're riding a train and the train is treating you right, don't hop off. And that's South Florida for me. Go Bulls.
There you go, Noah Beanick. Your top play of the day.
I'm going to the very first game that we talked about. It was a quad lock. Maryland. I could lay 12 with these Terps tomorrow.
Can I interest the audience there in a parlay? Utah State, Oklahoma, South Florida, Maryland. If that hits, I do expect White Tiger to have new clothes. All right.
There's Texas in there too. I mean, we all
throw Texas in there.
I mean, that's all our
can we get the Three Amigos? Can we get Cam on the Three Amigos movie poster, but with Mac, Dundee, myself, because you didn't come along with it as many. So
we probably had at least 5 quad locks.
Yeah,
at least, right? Or
5 triple locks. There was 2 quad locks.
Just 2 quad locks? Okay. I'm thinking triple locks. All right, you're right.
Colby, I know you've been recording. We got a hell of a finish coming up here in the Little Apple. K-State up 4 with 4 to go. Come on, Wildcats.
Yeah, let's do a quick check on what's gone final. I locked up the Idaho Vandals against Sac State. Boom. Getting it done. 61-45. Get this Hornets Nest bullshit. That was a battle. That was a fucking battle.
This is the last time I ever take Sac State. I said, this is the spot. You're playing somebody 3 games in 5 days and you are down 20 at half. You're dead to me.
Alabama State also covered the 7 against Florida A&M, and then we did lose on Alcorn State. Fucking Alcorn State, you fucking bums. You also have some current scores. If you're listening to this, Bethune-Cookman up 5 on Alabama A&M, sweating that one out as I'm on Bethune. Prairie View, Arkansas Pine Bluff, they decided to play. And Prairie View's up 8. Jackson State only down 6 now. I have money on Jackson State as they were getting their ass kicked early. Kansas State is up 4 at the 4-minute mark as we have money on K-State, and Eastern Washington's up 12 on Portland State. We'll see if that holds up, but obviously I don't think Eastern Washington gets the respect they deserve, in my opinion.
Dude, they were down 10 to start the game, and then they went on like a 22-0 run.
They're a really good program, and it's coach proof. It's been multiple coaches that have been behind that. Anyway, we'll have you covered tomorrow. Obviously, check out the picks page. Things change. Until next time. Well, actually, no. First, play that follow Twitter game. All right, hop on over there. Give NC Nick a follow on Twitter at NC__NICK. Noah Beanick is on Twitter at NoahB77_. We just did a great college baseball experience episode. We talked. He did a fantasy draft, college baseball fantasy. We also dropped the SEC preview. Check out the college baseball experience podcast wherever podcasts can be found. Also, me and NC Nick are tackling the ACC 2024 college football schedule with Patty C. That'll happen this week. So check out that. And yes, Moneyline Mac. He's on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Obviously, host of the Big 12 Experience. And he'll be back on this show tomorrow night. He also hosts the Ryan and Rush show. Check that out. That's not a Rush Limbaugh show, I don't think. But I haven't listened to every episode. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Give me a follow at TheColbyD. All that shit. And the College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Give it a follow. YouTube.com/The College Experience. I see 200 people watching this fucking show right now. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. Let's try to come on. That's the best way to help us. We're not trying to steal. It's not gonna creep up into your fucking emails and steal your money or something. This isn't some pyramid scheme. Oh, that's all we want. Just a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And if you can't do that, at least hop over to iTunes, give us a 5-star review, say some good things about these couple of couple of battle axes here. All right, come on. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. We just talk college basketball. They are live from Las Vegas for the next week. Yes, VSiN. You'll be checking them out all week. So do all that shit. Until next time, folks, this is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.